listening to Into the Spotlight with Osaka Jack on Everfree Network. Hello everyone, this is Osaka Jack with Into the Spotlight on Everfree Network. With me today, I have someone that probably you might not be familiar with unless you're on Twitter a bunch, but I'm going to insist that you should be familiar with. Mr. Tobias Gies. Hello.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
Still a little early for me to say.
Okay.
The disadvantage with interviewing someone in the European area, or European time zones, I should say, is that time just doesn't work out as well as it does for Americans.
Oh yeah, that's probably a problem.
I wouldn't say a problem, but it's not as convenient. Because I am a night owl, and it's usually better I do an interview at night. The American person is just waking up, and we have a good interview. Now you're about ready to go to bed. I'm just now noticing the sun creeping up. So, I don't know. I'm kind of out of my element here, so forgive this night owl for stumbling.
Forgiven.
Yay! I've been forgiven! What else bad can I do?
I'm not going to suggest anything right now. You have to come up with that yourself.
Man, it's too early in the morning. I'll go to McDonald's and demand to be given the lunchtime menu. There we go.
Oh dear.
I'm a troublemaker. Okay, so... well, if anybody is not familiar with you, could you just give a little blurb? Who are you? What do you do?
Well, I'm just this guy, you know. I've been in this Brony thing since after the end of season 2.
Okay.
I'm a 23 years old. I'm a software developer, and I currently live in Cologne, Germany. Probably will for the foreseeable future. And yeah, that's me.
Can I make jokes about things smelling nice over there?
If you insist.
Nah, that's okay. If you didn't get the joke, I'm not going to explain it to you. Stop looking at me like that. I'm talking to my audience. Never mind. He said it, and I just went with the joke. You get it or you don't. Moving on. Well, I know you mentioned software. I have seen you tweet about it, but there is a conference that you attend regularly. I believe it's PHP.
PHP is a programming language. There are actually multiple conferences I attend probably every year.
I know very little about programming language because I am stuck on my Go220 loop. So.
Okay. Well,
that's the last
at least
time
you know that much.
That's the last time I did programming. I learned how to do the infinite loops on the Apple II Basic, and I was done. Our school didn't have a lot of fun. Okay, sorry, good.
The funny thing is, I actually used that kind of computer once in school.
Okay.
It was my physics teacher kind of was a bit old-fashioned, and he had one of these to basically run some experiments with, and I don't know. He knew I was kind of good with computers, so he asked me to program something new for him, and then I learned that no, I can't quite program this computer.
No, it's after basic, I kind of gave up, but I knew that much. But I admit that when you tweet about these conferences, I understand very little of the specifics. But
okay.
I find it, and I'm sorry if this is taken in the wrong way, but I find it humorous how much drama there seems to be.
Drama?
Well, I know that some of the things you were tweeting about in the last one was there was a certain group that seems to be excluded from the talks.
Not really excluded.
Okay. Ostracized?
We were talking about ostracize is a pretty strong word for it,
Okay.
but there is this blogging software written in PHP. It's really popular. It's called WordPress.
Okay.
And it's great to use. It's an awesome software. But it's been around for a while. The software has been, I think, I don't want to say anything wrong, but I think it's fair to say it's been around for probably 5 to 7 years now.
Okay.
And that means there's a lot of code in there that isn't quite up to modern standards, and
Gotcha.
Some people make fun of the software for that reason, but it's a great software. It's really versatile, and they actively work on it and implement new features. So,
Okay.
But the developers of that software, they get mocked at our conferences kind of often, and because hey, it's an easy shot to take, and a few people who went on stage at that last conference I was at, they basically called us out on it, and they did so in a pretty drastic way, and I agree with them.
Okay, all right. So they were kind of just saying the buck stops here, guys. You need to stop mocking them.
Yeah, help them instead. It's open source software. You can fix it, improve it yourself.
Ah, okay. All right. Okay, all right. I mean, I had kind of gotten the gist, but I was like, okay, I don't know that word or that one or no, I don't know. Conference. I get that word. I know conference. I know conference. Other words, blah blah blah. Yeah. So I was admittedly lost, but good to know that it's. I found it humorous just because I know that the similarities that I've seen within the Brony community are funny to me.
I must admit I've never been to a Brony conference or convention before.
Okay, all right.
Though that is still on my list of things to do.
Well, not so much conferences, but I was thinking, I would say at this point, anybody that still makes the joke 20% cooler. I've seen that openly mocked. And I would say, okay, if you've been making that joke since it aired, yeah, move on. Get over it. There are other memes that you can use in the meantime. But if somebody's just started watching the show, I don't see a problem with them using that joke.
I mean, it's funny. It was definitely funny while it was still new. It's kind of gotten old by now. Yeah, you're right.
Well, yeah, I mean, for us, it's been a good 3.5 years since that joke aired, so we're familiar with it, and we know it, and yeah, haha, funny, okay. But,
yeah, I mean, that's I could make a joke about wings now, and hi, M.A. Larson, but that's gotten stale as well.
Yes, very true. We should make a prediction now for what will be the first recurring joke from season 5.
Oof, that's a good question. Probably something about Twilight having a castle now, and probably getting some sort of responsibility, whatever.
Castle. Let's work with castle. Let's make a chess joke. Castling. Let's just the king's moved 2 spaces. Ha!
Okay.
I didn't say my jokes are going to be good. I'm just predicting at this point. You guys might not laugh at that joke now, but you wait until I think they've just said spring.
Yeah, spring.
Spring. You wait until spring. That's going to be just drop dead funny. The king moved 2 spaces. Woo! I'm calling it.
We'll see if that comes true.
Right now, okay, Japan Standard Time, November 29, 2014, 6:52 in the morning. The king has moved 2 spaces. That's my prediction for the joke. I've had a lot of my predictions come true, and I found the secret to that is to make a lot of predictions and only tell people the ones that actually come true.
Yeah, and you can point to those and say, "Oh, see, I said that a while ago," and never mind the 200 other predictions over there. They never existed.
I had my mother at one point convinced that I was able to predict any mystery movie. And I had done that by she would get really into mystery movies within the first 20 minutes. So what I would do is the first 10 minutes I would say, I've got it figured out. And she did, no way. And I would pull out a pad of paper and I would write something down and I would tear it off and I would put it in my pocket. And then she would get really into the movie and she wouldn't notice that after the first 20 minutes, I was writing more things on different pieces of paper and putting them in different pockets. So by the end of the movie, probably one of my guesses came true, and I would say, all right, well, look, and I would pull it out of the correct pocket, and I would hand it to her, and she would open and say, how'd you do that? I'm like, well, it's obvious, isn't it? I mean, come on.
So easy, yeah.
Who couldn't figure that out?
Yeah, gotta admit, I never thought of that before, but I gotta try that at some point.
The reaction that you get is quite humorous until they figured out how you've done it, and then they get angry, but it's funny in the meantime.
Funny while it lasts.
Yep. So you haven't been to any of the conventions as of yet, but
no, I haven't.
Is there any thought to which one you might like to attend?
Simply for convenience reasons, and because the last 2 years were apparently extremely awesome. Galacon.
Yes.
Which is in Ludwigsburg, Germany, apparently not quite that far away from me. I might also go to a UK convention at some point, but we'll see.
Yes, I know that in the... this is relevant, hold on. Give me a sec. In most recent Japan PonyCon, the promotional video, at one point in the video, there was a strong reference made to Bizam.
Yes.
Which is, I believe, Galacon's...
catchphrase, yeah.
Catchphrase,
or the catchphrase of their mascot.
Right, yes. So it was borrowed in love. And well,
you're the ones who have to apologize to the Galacon people for that.
No. I mean, well, to be fair, the person that we got to do a voice in the video was Eileen Monty, who does the voice of Galacon's mascot. So it was a shout out to Galacon and Eileen Monty, I suppose. And that's the story I'm sticking with. Please don't sue us.
Okay.
I would be interested to see if any case like that could ever gain weight. An international... not copyright, I guess, but trademark, possibly.
Yeah, trademark.
International trademark violation from a joke like... I think we're pretty safe.
Yeah. Parody exception and all that.
Yeah.
If nothing else. I mean, that's how pretty much all of our fan content is allowed to live.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I do find it funny because occasionally there will be a video that gets blocked in America, but it's still... I can view it. Yeah. And
I can too.
Yeah. I find that funny.
Back when MLP wasn't available to download anywhere in a legal way, apparently, in Germany, they kind of didn't bother locking any of the MLP episodes on YouTube. So I was like, I want to watch MLP. Okay, I'll just go on YouTube, type the episode name in. There you go.
Huh. That's interesting.
Not as easy now.
No,
I think.
No, I think they suddenly realized, wait, a lot of people internationally are watching this. No.
We could sell DVDs. Which, hey, good for them.
Yeah. I I've bought every DVD available in English or Japanese, and so far there's only been one terrible DVD available in Japanese. So hoping for more, but
how was it terrible?
It was terrible in that the video quality was bad.
Okay.
It was letterboxed. It should have been, as it was aired, widescreen. No, it was square. The audio wasn't very good. The colors were washed out. It was a DVD that had a total of 3 episodes.
Are you sure that wasn't a bootleg?
Yes, very sure, because it was sold by MLP Japan, and actually came with a Celestia face towel inside, which was pretty cool, admitted. I like the towel. And I want to support MLP Japan, but if this is the quality of DVDs that they're going to put out, no. No,
but
not
they
at
got
all.
better afterwards.
I'm hoping they do. I really am. But yeah, we're hoping for more Japan MLP, but it just no announcements or anything yet. It's very frustrating.
Yeah, keeping my fingers crossed for you there.
The manga just came out, which has become really popular, and it's really funny, even though it's set for a very young audience, which is fine for me because my Japanese ability sucks. So being able to read all of that manga is awesome for me.
Okay.
A lot of manga I pick up, and it's really embarrassing for me to say, okay, I know this is aimed at 11-year-old boys, but I can't read some of these words here.
Well, I mean, they had 11 years of practice speaking Japanese.
Still, I've been here 12 years, so part of me is like, you should have been learning too. I wasn't an infant then, dang it. My mind is not as much of a sponge as theirs is.
That's your story, and you're sticking with it?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not even going to explain it anymore. Just somebody says something to me, I'm just going to say, I have a rock sponge brain.
Sedimentary rock?
Well, sentimental.
Okay.
Maud, thank you for the puns. Sediments make me sedimental.
Oh.
That's a canon joke. I can say it.
Probably.
Something else you mentioned when we were just chatting, and I was only able to write down the acronym as I heard it, but it was a teaching thing that you're doing. And if I get in English, the acronym would be GFATR.
Okay. Well, teaching not quite.
Okay.
I'm a volunteer at the sorry. Even I can't get it right. German Federal Agency for Technical Relief, which is basically an agency that is supposed to do disaster relief.
Okay.
I mean, when something big happens,
right.
we get called out and help in every way we can, from rebuilding bridges to relaying power grids, or creating temporary power grids, or just providing lights for huge areas, or just manpower. I mean,
right. Sometimes
we're basically
just need a lot of people to shovel that mud.
Yeah, absolutely. Or to haul all those sandbags,
right?
Because I mean, we kind of have a lot of rivers in Germany, and
you're speaking to a St. Louis boy. We've got the Mississippi and the Missouri River, the 2 largest in North America, converging on my city. I understand.
Yeah, I can imagine. And we have a youth organization where I do some of the organizing stuff in our local branch office. I guess you can say.
Okay.
Just where teaching kids how to, for example, provide first aid, how to help people who have fallen down a ladder, or how to help people who are stuck somewhere because something. We're basically leading them, or providing them with, or showing them the work of our organization in a way that they can handle more.
Okay.
That's appropriate for them.
Right. So you wouldn't suggest that these kids go immediately and repair that power
No,
grid.
no, absolutely not.
But we get somebody's without power. We need to keep them warm tonight because it's going to be cold. Make sure they have blankets and keep toasty. Okay, all right. That's good. I can see that. That's very applicable information. I think that's a good thing. Are kids required to
No,
take this?
absolutely not.
Okay.
We're strictly a volunteer organization. Both the adults and the children or the youth organization part.
Okay.
I mean, we are a federal agency in Germany with, I think the last count was 80,000 volunteers in it, all over Germany.
Nice.
And of those 80,000 people, we have 800 roundabout people who are actually getting paid to work for the organization and to basically do the
job.
Yeah, no, not even that.
Okay.
There are management in the background, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Bureaucracy. They basically they run our offices and help us
get the paperwork stuff done.
Yeah, get that paperwork stuff done. Gotcha. I mean, there's still plenty of paperwork. I mean, it's a German government agency after all. But most of the paperwork and a lot of other stuff is handled by those paid people. But those that actually get deployed, that actually go out to help people, most of us are volunteers.
Okay, all right. Huh. That's good then. Do you get a cool little insignia that you can sew into your jacket or something?
No, I have a uniform when we're actually out there or when we're training. But no, nothing to just sew to my jacket. Fancy hats.
Yeah, I wouldn't say beret because that's more special forces type thing, but like a top hat or monocle adjusted steam. I don't know.
Actually, berets and fancy hats like policeman-like hats were phased out, I think, a longer time ago.
I'm trying to imagine what the uniform would look like, and I'm just failing. Because all that I can imagine is just the history of the Wonderbolts uniforms going through my head.
And actually, some of the old uniforms looked remarkably like the uniform Twilight Sparkle was wearing in that video.
Okay.
I see if I can get a picture to you. But
okay, all right. If I can, then I'll put it right here. If not, then nothing happened and you just kind of jumped when I said here, but I apologize.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll worry about that afterwards.
How much of your time does this usually take? Is it like one weekend a month, or?
Basically, it's 1 weekend a month, that's the time we're supposed to actually be training for the job, to actually be, but it's a bit more because we do have to maintain our equipment, our cars, and anything else that needs maintaining.
Sure.
But the basic training requirement is one weekend, or actually 1 day a month.
Okay.
We usually do that on Saturdays.
Okay. Have you actually been out to an emergency situation?
Yes, I have. Actually, the largest, or my first deployment was actually probably one of the larger things to happen in my area, which is we have a historic, or we had, more accurately, we had a historical archive in Cologne, which contained a lot of historical documents and bits and pieces of the city history, and basically that collapsed.
Oh no!
Yeah. Very sad thing, because 2 people lost their lives.
Oh dear!
During that,
Was
and
it like earthquake caused, or just the building worn away, or?
it was caused. The cause isn't 100% known yet.
Goodness. Okay.
It's been a few years since then, but they're still searching for the cause.
Huh. Wow.
Many believe it was caused by a nearby new subway line that was being built.
Oh, okay. I
And
see.
they were drilling tunnels, and
Right.
something happened over there, but it hasn't been proven yet. So
Sure. Yeah.
the cause is still up in the air.
Huh.
But
Okay.
we went there and aided the the fire brigade in any way we could.
Sure. Were a
And
lot? Please tell me that at least most of the historical documents were able to be saved.
they were able to be recovered, but
Okay.
Basically to repair them to their original state is a task that'll be taking probably about the next 30 years.
I can hear Twilight crying. I can
Oh, yeah.
literally hear Twilight crying at the story of a historical archive in such. Oh my goodness. Goodness. Wow. A destroyed library. Oh, terrifying.
Yeah, well, most of the documents are actually now you can view them again because they saved them on I don't know the English word for this, microfilm, probably.
That's, yeah, microfilm, or there's actually, if you go really old, some libraries had something called microfiche.
Microfiche, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
They saved many of the documents onto these, so you can actually view them.
Okay. So the document itself might have been lost, but not the information. That's something.
Exactly.
That's something. I mean, that's better than nothing, but still,
it's a damn pity,
heartbreaking.
and it was a terrible accident. But
yeah, oh, very sad.
Yeah.
But it sounds like for the most part, it's at least challenging, but fun to work with kids.
Oh, absolutely.
That's good.
I mean, keeping them in line and actually teaching them at the same time is it's a huge challenge.
Yes.
For me, I mean, I'm not that old myself. So teaching kids stuff they should learn or they're meant to learn is still something that's quite new to me.
Sure.
But I make do.
Yeah. It's not everybody can be a teacher, but experience is the best way to learn how to be a teacher. I really think.
Yeah. So just jump in the deep end.
Well, maybe inflate some water wings first, but yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the best teachers are the ones who learn as much as the students do. So
yeah, that's true.
learn. I mean, I don't learn the same things. I mean, obviously, I'm teaching them some information, but I learn about them, and I learn different teaching styles and what works, what doesn't, adjust, and keep going. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I don't know what to say to that. You're pretty much, I think, spot on. It's just need to keep learning, and maybe one day I'll be an accomplished teacher, and I'll be retiring by then.
That's when you do it. Yep. Best teacher ever. He retired a week later. It was just so sad. Yep. Yeah. I will say this, though. I'm not sure about every country. But at the minimum, America and Japan, you will never find a group better at drinking than teachers. Kids don't drink that much, though, until you're 21. Then go for it. Or whatever the legal age is in your area. I realize that I'm speaking international.
In Germany, it's actually 16
to
drink beer and wine, and 18 for any more alcoholic beverages.
Well, that's interesting. I didn't know that. I thought it was a set age. Huh. I know in my area it's 18 for tobacco, 21 for alcohol, 16 to drive.
Yeah, 18 for tobacco, 17 to drive, with a competent adult next to you.
Gotcha.
Or 18 to drive without them.
Our area, yeah. I think it's changed. When I was younger, it was 16 to drive, but 15 and a half to get a learning permit where you can drive with your parents. But now I think it's like 16 you can drive with your parents, 17 you can drive with an adult over 21 who has a license, and 18 by yourself. I take the train. I'm done with it.
Yeah, I don't have a car either.
Yeah, my hometown, public transportation was not great. You had to drive. Here, I've got a subway within 2 minutes walking, and I've got a great train line within 10 minutes walk, and I can go anywhere.
Awesome.
I recommend it. It works very well. Anybody, if there's any one tip I can give you, wherever you move, learn how to use the public transportation in your area. It will save you.
Yeah. Especially if you've been drinking.
Yes.
And we all know you shouldn't be driving then. And
yes. There's actually a service in Japan, which I don't know, it might be in other countries as well, but I haven't heard of it in other countries. It's a I don't even know how I would call it, but it's a two-person taxi. If you're out drinking somewhere and you've driven there, and in Japan, if you've had any alcohol, you're not allowed to drive. In America, there's like a limit if you've had too much. But anyway, you go somewhere, you go drinking, and when you're finished, you call this company. They arrive in an itty-bitty car that has two people in it. One of the people in that car gets out and takes your keys and drives your car with you in the passenger side to your house, with the small car following behind. They get to your house, they give you back your keys, they take their payment, they get in their mini car and drive away.
That's a great service.
It's fantastic.
I think I've heard of something similar in a few larger cities over here, but nothing like that that's available everywhere.
Yeah. It's fantastic. And some companies it has reached a point in Japan, if you're caught drunk driving, your company can get fined.
Huh?
A large part of Japanese culture is you must go drinking if the boss insists that you go drinking. It's like impossible to refuse the boss. You cannot. If boss says we're going drinking, everybody's going drinking that night. You can't say no. So they're putting a little bit of the responsibility for that on the company. So it is possible if you're drinking and driving that your company can get fined. So a lot of companies will actually start up an account with these two-person taxis, and they will give you some vouchers for when everybody goes out drinking.
Sounds reasonable.
I think so, yeah. I don't know how much it is because, I don't drive a car, so I've never actually used it. But no, it was, yeah. Turns out they don't do the two-person taxis for scooters. I found this out one night.
Okay.
I think it was more of the not wanting to have two people on the scooter with one person giving directions, but
So you had to leave your scooter where it was and take the train, basically.
Well, it was within walking distance of my home. Just took about 45 minutes to get there.
Oh well.
I talked to the bar. I said, "Hey, I'm going to leave my bike here. Is that okay?" They're like, "Yeah, okay." I'm like, "All right, I'll see you tomorrow." And I walked home. Then walked there the next day. Took my bike and went out. No problem.
Okay, nice of them.
Well, a question that I ask in each of my interviews, in all of My Little Pony, what would you say is the one line or one scene that defines you?
I just don't know what went wrong.
That was fast, okay. All right, can we get an explanation on that?
No, kind of humorous.
Okay.
What defines me?
Yeah, or what?
Sorry, I was shooting for the humorous answer first. Maybe a serious one later.
You know what? if that's what you go for, that's fine. I mean, I cannot claim to be graceful in many senses of the word. I can dance and I can walk, but you put me on roller skates or ice skates of any type, and I will fall down immediately. So, yeah, I could understand somebody having problems and using that line. I just don't know what went wrong. Yeah. But no, for you, what speaks out to you the most?
What speaks out to me the most? I don't think I can name a single line in the show.
A scene can work as well. Or occasionally I'll accept an episode if it's really relevant.
Well, maybe let's go with when Twilight Sparkle explains or names the elements of harmony.
Okay.
Or because they're, for me, they are the basis of a good friendship.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I think that's that much is true.
Yeah, yeah.
There's many more things, but you probably can't be friends without having honesty, loyalty, dadgummit.
Ha ha, ha ha, ha ha. Giving you a hint. Ha ha, ha ha. Ha ha.
Laughter.
Thank you.
Kindness.
You can have this.
Oh dear, oh dear.
You can have this. It's a gift. I'm giving it to you in this manner.
And generosity.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, goodness. No, you're not cutting that out.
No, absolutely not. That stays in. No, I guess, yeah, that's a very good point. That's, it's the basis of the show, but yeah, it is the basis of what good friendships should be.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I don't know, these virtues kind of reflect or resonate with me. I'm not claiming that I'll always be perfect and always be the embodiment of all of these, but I think they're important. I'd say that much.
I would agree. Sure. I thought it was interesting. I know that originally, when Lauren Faust had made it, generosity was not one of the elements of harmony. But she had made Rarity's element was creativity.
Okay.
But it was then changed to generosity. Frankly, I think that's a good change. I know some people that are just not very creative, but they're still good people. And we're still friends.
You can't see it, but I'm raising my hand right now.
Yeah. So I like creativity. It's very nice. But at the same time, I don't think it's an element per se.
Yeah. Let's go with that.
All right, here's something that has been posed to me and I've posed to others. If we assume that the Cutie Mark Crusaders also have elements of harmony, what would you say theirs are?
Oh, goodness.
I've had a little time to think about it, so I've got answers ready, but I'm not,
Good question.
Yep.
Really good question.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I was shooting for curiosity.
Okay,
but I'm one of the three would absolutely be curiosity, but I have no idea which one.
Okay.
I mean, they're all curious.
Yes,
they're all willing and absolutely want to learn new things.
That's true. Yeah.
Enthusiasm.
Ooh, that's a good one. I like it.
Yeah. I mean, if I don't know what they are, but they're enthusiastic to get their cutie marks. I can say that much.
True. Yes, very, very much so. I really like. I'm going to go with Jim Miller, who on Twitter he specifically said when some people were giving some of the comic artists a little bit of grief, he said, "Okay, comics are canon." So he flat out said that all of the MLP comics are canon stories. In one of them, the Cutie Mark Crusaders actually befriend Discord. Because Discord is able to, with a snap of his fingers, create an entire scenario for them to attempt to earn their cutie marks. So they have ice dancing, and then they have scooter roller derbies, and then they're actually on the bridge of the Enterprise, which looks very familiar for him.
Oh dear.
But at the very end of it, they actually make him an honorary Cutie Mark Crusader, which I thought was really cute. But
yeah, I honestly couldn't tell you the third.
Okay.
I'm thinking hard about it, but I can't come up with a third one.
I think with mine, I like the ideas that I've chosen, but I don't know that there's so much required for friendship so much. I used music for Sweetie Belle.
Music?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
There are very few people that I've ever encountered that don't like some type of music. I can only think of one, actually, off the top of my head, who insisted that he didn't like any music at all. And I still don't believe him.
I mean, if that works for him, good for him. But
I can understand not being a huge fan of any specific genre, but not liking any music. I have a problem with this. I think rhythm is a very important part of our lives. At the very least, just heartbeat rhythm. Okay, anyway. I used admiration for Scootaloo.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I think it's really important to find someone or something to look up to when you're young. An ideal to strive for, I think, is very important. And with Apple Bloom, I went with innocence.
Innocence, that's a good one.
I really think it's important for a healthy personality for somebody to have a period of their life where they are innocent and not worrying about whatever they're worrying about is later going to be considered trivial. I found it really important for that to happen in a human being, I think. So those are the three that I came up with. But I like yours as well. Those are good too.
Thank you.
Yeah. Please add comments below. What do you think would be? And be sure to rate and subscribe and check out my other videos. I felt dirty.
Oh dear.
That's
gotta have to hurt.
My skin is crawling from saying that. Well, everybody, today we've been speaking with Tobias Gies. Be sure to check him out on Twitter, and he has a website, but it doesn't work.
It doesn't?
Homepage of Tobias Gies.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It's down.
I don't think it ever was up.
Okay.
I keep meaning to put something on there, but I honestly don't know what. Okay. So it stays like that for now.
Just in case. It's nice to have a should I win the lottery and need to explain my life story. It's there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's what I was that's absolutely what I was going for.
Yep. I think it's the equivalent of a small umbrella in the bottom of my backpack. I would much rather have it and not need it than be caught in the rain without one.
So where's your website?
Well, I'm currently waterproof, so I don't have... No, I just...
Oh, that metaphor just fell apart.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. I use Rain-X on my face, so I... Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming by and speaking with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Everybody, this has been Osaka Jack with Into the Spotlight on Everfree Network. We will catch you next time.